do me a favor. Before you click off this video, which will probably be already, go high five the nearest person next to you and tell them, have a great day. Okay? I want you to do that. Let's spread love, spread some positivity on the last official week of the season of the NFL. As we say, prepare to welcome in the playoffs and say goodbye, and also prepare for the drought, depending on who your team is. Either this is their last game altogether, or in the playoffs, it'll be their last game if they lose. I know I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm not even going to talk about that. But yeah, my team, I'll put it like that, okay? So today's episode, we're going to view something that I didn't think existed in Texas, okay? And that is a $50 million property. Obviously, we know what $50 million properties look like in, Beverly Hills, the Platinum Triangle. Let's just say the Platinum Triangle in general. We know what $50 million properties look like in the Platinum Triangle, which, again, for those not familiar, that's Beverly Hills, Homely Hills, Bel Air. That's the Platinum Triangle here in Los Angeles, where $50 million property, $100 million property, extremely common. As far as other places in the States, we know what $50 million looks like in New York. You get a high-rise building, a penthouse, and, you have all these amenities. We know exactly what that looks like. We know what $50 million looks like in Miami. $50 million in Miami, it looks like waterfront property, very well manicured, beautiful. And we know what you're getting there. We even know what $50 million looks like in the ski resort towns. We even know what $50 million plus looks like there. I don't know what $50 million looks like in Texas. So today we're going to find out. Again, I didn't think $50 million properties in Texas existed. I mean, sure, we know maybe Mark Cuban has something in Dallas, and, maybe what he has is worth $50 million, but that's probably because he's Mark Cuban more than anything. But I mean, looking at this right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like this aerial view. Let me show you why. I'm gonna show you why. For $50 million, in general, you want to be around other, multi-million dollar properties. And I don't know. Would you say that this is a multi-million dollar property? How about this one? I don't like it. I'm just being honest with you. I don't like it. Now, I'm sure these neighbors right here, they're like, hell yeah, I hope that place sells for 50 million, because then their plot of land together might be worth 10 to 15 million. But again, who knows? Maybe these properties are a part of, I don't think they're a part of that. I'll just be honest with you right there. I don't think that these two are a part of it. I mean, look, this is clearly new development. This is not. Now, who knows? Maybe this guy or the developer owns these already and is waiting for plans so these can be demolished. And so everything can be graded and, put into one lot where it can build another multi-million dollar type of property. But if that's not the case, and this is why these are questions that, I mean, no matter who you are, you should always have these kind of questions. These aren't just questions for someone who's buying a multi-million dollar property. What are the values of the neighborhood? This is what you should be asking, period. That way you don't overpay for something. But anyway, $50 million. This place is about, I think, 11,000 square feet, which for $50 million, to be honest with you, on the small side. For an underdeveloped, especially for an underdeveloped area. But, you know, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. I will give you a hint. In the next video, we're going to look at a place in Malibu that is similar priced. And you know, not to spoil it, but let's just say that if you got $50 million, yeah, one place might be more secluded, but Malibu's pretty secluded. I know everyone's used to seeing the houses that are on the beach, but the real Malibu, where people like really spend most of the money, it's in secluded enclaves. But anyway, enough of me talking. You know, I'm going in here with a little bit of pessimism. I'm pessimist. I'm going in here being a little pessimistic. You know, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm sure the place is gorgeous. I'm positive of that. You don't just slap $50 million price tag on something that's like Scooby-Doo. I don't know why I said Scooby-Doo. Something like a Flintstone house. Even though we've seen a Flintstone house that looked amazing. Anyway, let's check this out.
So this is what $50 million buys you in Austin, Texas. This is a legacy estate located right on Lake Austin. You've got 9 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, 10,505 square feet of living space, laid out on just about 6 acres of prime lakefront land. This estate is so large, you need a Polaris to get around on it.
I will see you at the top of the hill.
Now I want to break down the exterior of this property. This is essentially a compound. You can tell by the drone shot here, just the general layout of the house.
Again, I am not a fan of this unless this is a part of this. Like if this is not a part of this, because now looking at this house actually looks like it's taken care of, and it's a really nice looking house by itself. So
drone shot here, just the general layout of the house, where we do have 4 structures on the property: the guest house at the top of the hill, the garden house, the tree house, and now the main house, which is behind me here. And as far as the exterior, we have tons of stucco.
So that house is not a part of it.
80,000 pounds of steel used in the construction of this house. Approaching the main house, we have this serene garden with these built-in pavers here, and the landscaping really sets the tone for how serene the house is. And my favorite thing about this house is how they blend into our outdoor living. So this is the main core. This is the hub of the home. So here you have the home gym off to my left, piano room off to my right, and these all open up. So
I gotta say, you know what? In all truthfulness, I know this place is beautiful. So this is not me knocking on the beauty of the place. I kind of don't even want to watch the video because I'm already disappointed. And the thing is that at a different price tag, I'd be like head over heels over this place. I'll save my you know, honest opinion, because that's the thing. I have no ties to these places. My honest opinion is really based on the fact that I'm not, you know, that's the one thing I will say. When you tour these houses and it's part of like your brand, like you know, this guy, I forgot his name. Yeah, Eric Enos. You know, these guys, you know, they're touring the homes and they have to be objective. And the bottom line is that the places that they're viewing are beautiful. Like, again, this house is, I could tell you, this house is done to perfection. I can promise you this property is divine, okay? But nothing is perfect in these, you know, it's not like they're going to go and say, you know, the imperfections, and they're not going to do that because then they ruin their relationships. And right now I don't have any of those relationships. And, you know, my current state is, I guess mine's, you know, my mindset is I want to represent the people that are buying these places, and I have to be objective to the overall, which is, yes, the place is beautiful. Yes, You know, it's well manicured. Yes, it has all of these amazing amenities, but this is something that, you know, we should ask. And it's not like a pure negative. It's just highlighting what is missing, right? And right now, this neighborhood, this doesn't feel like a $50 million, you know, 10 million, 20, you know, because once you get to multi-million-dollar properties, everything, it then becomes subjective. But let's continue.
All the glass here fully opens up so you can really go from room to room, wing to wing. It's really special.
I'm telling you, I love this style.
This is the world's largest residential glass front door. This is 10 foot by 10 foot, one single pane of glass, which leads into the great room. And using a 10 foot by 10 foot pane of glass really drives home the privacy you have living here. The fact that you can have your front door be one giant pane of glass, which leads into then this great room with double height ceilings here. And then your whole back wall is also glass, which opens up, leading out to your back deck, your infinity edge swimming pool, rolling green lawns. Actually, there's another pool before the lawns, and then the river. So this home is the definition of indoor-outdoor living. I love to hate that term because that's like such a real estate catchphrase, but you can just flow from room to room in this house. And case in point, look at this. So we'll get back to the pool in a second. Out here, this will be your outdoor dining room where you have seating for 10. Let's go back on in. So back into the great room here, let's break down a few of the materials. We have custom Italian bricks on the interior of the house, which have been created with laser cut looters. This is pretty cool because this isn't gas, this is actually an alcohol fireplace, so it gives off zero smoke, there's no chimney, there's no plume, and it's very eco-friendly. And I love how they fit this in this home here, where you have the hardwood going up on what would be the actual chimney of the fireplace here. And if you look up, check out these beautiful light fixtures overhead here with those brass circle designs. I just want to make sure I heard it right. Let me not give the wrong info. No chimney, there's no plume, and it's very eco-friendly. And I love how so it gives off zero smoke, there's no chimney, created with laser cut looters. This is pretty cool because this isn't gas, this is actually an alcohol fireplace, so it gives off zero smoke, there's no chimney, there's no plume, and it's very eco-friendly. It's not like I love how they fit this in this home here, where you have the hardwood going up on what would be the actual chimney of the fireplace here. And if you look up, check out these beautiful light fixtures overhead here with those brass circle designs here with the LEDs inlaid in them. And also, while we're looking up, the transom windows. This house utilizes the crap out of transom windows because on this lot we are technically at the bottom of a hill. The elevation drops off a little bit, so you have the light from the top of the hill entering the home throughout the whole day. In this great room, look how large this couch is. You could put sushi in here, drinks built into this table in the center here. That's pretty cool. I've actually only ever seen that in a home one other time. But the great room flows then into the kitchen here, where we have this island front and center. You've got seating here for 6, and I like how it's an L island, which is pretty unique. Typically, the islands are just one rectangle in the middle of the kitchen.
Okay. Kitchen, I actually like the kitchen. This is just underwhelming at 50 million. No translucent stone, which is not like a key mandatory thing. Don't get me wrong. That slab is thick. Like, this is thick, right? That's thick. It's not like they didn't cheap out on anything. I just have a preference of what to expect at 50 million. I expect like a true wow factor at 50 million, but
really gives a nice feeling where you could have the prep station here with this huge sink. This is a chef's kitchen. You've got all induction here with Gaggenau, marble on the hood, the backsplash, the countertops. I even like how the dials are built into the woodwork here. In a $50 million house, of course, you're gonna have all the staples like your wine storage here. I also love how the shelving has these little brass inlays there for easy open. Kitchen. Of course, soft close. Right off of the island, stainless steel Sub-Zero here.
Would prefer a built-in
the owners are actually still living in the house. And this is pretty cool. So this is the pantry, and as you can see, it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling, but yet it still makes you feel like you're in another room from the entryway.
This must be the developers.
Those transom windows can let that light full out into the kitchen, bypassing
Like
this
his
cabinet.
personal property.
This is a really
Like
cool
he built
design
it for
feature.
himself.
And just to pop them open, you can see it's all storage space here. Fully stocked storage space. And then I want to also point out that we also have your typical Gaggenhaus House suite here, the oven, microwave, convection, all that good stuff.
Is that a staff
This would
kitchen?
actually be the chef's kitchen slash pantry,
Okay.
where you have the seamless lacquer here on the cabinetry, and I love these.
Where's
These are
the
touch to open refrigerator freezers here. So
There-
these are
there's
the big
the
boys, and
built-in.
this is stocked full. You gotta love the secondary fridge
So,
freezer. And then again,
where's
another
the
prep
stove?
sink, tons of countertop space.
Let me give him
and
a
again,
chance,
the
let me give him
theme
a
of the
chance.
glass, large glass window here.
I
Out of the
love
pantry, I want
the
to point out
land.
the layout of this house. So you go off to the left.
Yes, go off to the,
The pantry
left, please.
and the kitchen also connect to this dining room, which is
I love that dining room.
one-of-a-kind dining room
That
for
is-
many
that
reasons.
is
The fact that you
beautiful.
have glass walls, which then open up again
Nice.
to the garden, where we entered the
Simple.
house here. Like, look how cool this is. The fact that the dining room opens up to this patio space in the garden area
Like
when
you
we
have
first
your
entered the home.
family party.
Super
you know,
unique.
definitely this is a
Crystal
place for the family
chandelier over
reunion.
top here, seating for 10. And I do want to point out, it is open concept, but they have pocket doors. So you could close this off if you wanted to keep it private.
That's a
Off
beautiful
of the
place
dining
for
room.
Thanksgiving for sure.
This
Put
is
another
the
table
first bedroom.
outside
And check this bathroom
you know.
out. Look at this shower. With a view of your property, rainfall shower head here. Got the detachable here, the sprayer for all the body parts. And I really love how open it is. Even the bathroom, they keep with that theme of the open concept. You've also got your dual vanity. And then if we go off to the left here, this is the first bedroom here. Again, it faces the courtyard with sliding glass leading outdoor. So again, indoor, outdoor in every single room here. And also in this bedroom, transom windows. So you have light throughout the whole space, even the guest bedroom, which is sometimes an afterthought in a house. But back out into the main area here. For reference, dining room, kitchen, pantry, powder room, cool floating marble vanity here, run-of-the-mill powder room, but still, just gotta show every piece of this home.
Big
Actually, what
ass
is this?
powder room.
HVAC. I'll be totally honest with you. I got the call to come to see this house and tour it. We saw it like 20 minutes before, and that's not enough time to like memorize all the facts and stuff. So you're just getting my raw reaction through the space. So in front of me, this is the den. But first I want to talk about this. Keeping with the glass theme here, temperature, humidity controlled wine cellar. It's actually really nice and cool in here. How sweet is this? Floating
Kinda
bottles,
not
just adding
feeling
to
that
the
at
whole
50
theme of the
million,
house, so that
but-
modern. Then you've got your bar, built-in everything here, ice maker, open concept shelving with the built-in LED light, and this is the den. Got a rustic pool table here front and center, couch, built-in TV here, and again, you've got the built-in glass here, so the whole back wall is glass, and it all opens up, and all this glass was custom made in Portugal and shipped all the way here to Austin, Texas to be in this beautiful home. So from the den, we now have the outdoor den here
Look at that
with your
pool.
built-in wood burning fireplace. And I love
the
how you've got the
infinity edge
Italian brick
pool.
here wrapped around the chimney of this fireplace. And then you've got your outdoor kitchen here, fully stocked. You've got your grill in the center here, ice maker, refrigerator, freezer, all of it. They even have a green egg. If you've never charcoal smoked a barbecue, you're missing out on life. This is like my dream grill here. It's called the Big Green Egg.
prefer
and they even come in larger sizes.
wood
but you get
pellets,
some like
but
hickory chips in
to each
there
his
and you
own.
grill something up. It's actually really good. If you look above the barbecue, you've got a steel plate so that the wood doesn't get all destroyed from the heat that this is gonna throw off. You've got the indoor den, the outdoor
Smart.
den, the grill, and this is the money. The views of the lake here, views of your property. Like I mentioned, you don't have one, but you've got two pools. And that one down there, that's actually, well, you'll see when we get there, it's not your typical pool. Back under your covered patio, you've even got the ceiling fan to get a nice little breeze going on. The patio connects the entire length of your infinity pool. So this is the dining room table when we first started the tour. And then you've got a nice little sitting area over here. I love the fact that it's connected by this outdoor space. So we're gonna head back into the house now, into the executive office.
Yes.
I love showing offices in these mansions that I tour because this is the room where the money is made.
Heck
It's
yeah,
a weird
this is
time
that's
right
the
now
room
for
how
both
you pay for
buyers
everything.
and sellers, even in a hot spot like Austin. Prices and rates are both at record highs, which is why even the most legendary real estate investors don't invest everything into real estate. Diversification is key in reducing risk. Fireplaces with the steel on the chimney. Could you imagine
another
sitting here
fireplace.
looking out at that
One of
view?
those
And the
fake
cool thing about
fireplaces.
this patio is it runs the entire length of the house. So we're gonna get to the pool in a little bit and talk about the lawn and what it's actually like to.
Now, here is where I thought this was going to be a part of this, and it's not. So clearly there's going to be plans to build another massive property here. So my guess is that they're going to see what they can sell this for. But remember I had said, you know, most of what I'm doing is I'm giving an honest opinion. And the reality is that for 50 million, you're buying into a potential future. And more importantly, you're buying next door to a site for construction. And the massive undertaking that this had, I can only imagine it'll be very similar to this, which will be a huge undertaking. And I mean, if you've ever lived next door or been around, you know, construction for like a normal house, right? You know, we're talking about 2,000 square feet house. You know that takes anywhere between 4 months to a year to complete. To build something like this can take years. So years of construction. It's kind of feeling I don't like their odds, but this is a nice neighborhood. I'm looking at it again, and you know, from this aerial point, like I said, this house was nicer than what it looked like from the initial angle, and then there's a nice house right here. So this is an area where I can only imagine that these properties here are worth a few $1 million. So this is a good neighborhood. But yeah, let's continue.
To live on Lake Austin, but there's still a lot of house to see. So heading back in, this is now the owner's suite.
But even though those are worth a few
double
million,
height ceilings
they don't
in
have a
here again,
reason
the
to
transom
sell.
windows. The house even comes with a beautiful cat. I'm kidding, the cat's not for sale. But this is the owner's cat just chilling, living the good life in a $50 million mansion in Texas to be that cat. Bedroom is huge. I want to also point out the glass again. Look at all this glass. And oh, one thing I want to mention is the view across the lake. That's a protected area. So you will never have neighbors across the lake, which is very important because it justifies all the glass.
That's amazing.
If you'll notice, the shades are pretty much always up. It's all automatic, it's all Lutron. But like, look at all this glass in here.
So all you have is that lake,
and that's a huge selling point is the privacy. So from the owner's bedroom, we've got a connecting hallway here, which leads in to one of the most extreme bathrooms I've ever seen in a home tour. Look at this place. Marble everywhere. Starting it off, you've got the enclosed steam shower here. Huge vanity spread. You got the floating vanity, marble on the top, on the walls, a mirror running the entire length here. You've got a soaking tub, front and center, divided by this huge marble slab. And on the back side, you've got the shower. And the floors are also heated. It's one of those bathrooms where there's, like even that, I had a feeling, look up, 2 rainfall shower heads. And the ceiling heights in here are quite high. Again, transom windows, so there's tons of light in here. And then again, keeping with the indoor-outdoor theme, surprise, surprise, you've got outdoor space here in your bathroom with a nice little patio where you could sit butt naked, get a tan, just enjoy the fresh air of Austin. And then this connects around back here. Look at this is pretty cool. You've got these like,
I like how he just ignored those batches of flies right there. Which is okay. It's Texas. That's normal. But he just like it doesn't exist.
Around back here.
Even though they're
Look at
flying
this.
in
This is
his
pretty
face.
cool. We've got these like
so good on
little
camera.
4-leaf clovers here with the patios inlaid leading to the door, which connects to the backyard. So you have privacy back here. Coming on back in. We've got some closet space off to the left here. And this hallway has the actual water closets, which is nice. You've got 2, his and hers on either side here. And then at the
His
very
and her
end of the
toilets.
hallway,
Okay.
we're not gonna actually go in because again, people are still living here and we've got 2 closets on either side. But if you pull way back, we'll make our way back through this bathroom, get one more look at it because like this is crazy.
You know what they
This
say.
is a huge bathroom.
Couple that dumps together.
And we didn't go this way, so we'll go this way on the way out.
Is
This
really,
is the actual
really,
inside
really in
entrance
love.
to the
Our-
owner's suite. And
yeah.
just for a frame of
They're
reference,
together forever.
you got the
I don't
office
know.
here, and then we are back to the front door. And we haven't even seen the guest wing, which is behind me here. But first, off to my left, you've got a powder room, and this is actually the brains of the house. Everything is fully automated in here, so your sound, heating, cooling, shades, everything. And that's where it's all controlled. But check this out. Look at this hallway. This is the guest wing of the house. And I do love how it's broken down with little seating areas and these huge windows to let the light in.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's
Tons of
another
light.
office.
Again, transom windows everywhere. And halfway down,
I
you've
love
got
the
this.
natural light of this place.
Your
Like
piano room
it
and then this
feels
is the
like a
second
home.
home
This doesn't
office.
really feel like.
with, again, its own private outdoor
massive
space
mansion.
with views of the land next door.
And then you're just secluded.
And
You're
I
like you're
mentioned this
secluded.
at the start,
It
but
has
again,
really
the
good
glass
seclusion.
opens up so you can walk right out into your courtyard where we first entered the home, cut across here to your home gym. And look at this space. It has a freestanding sauna here.
Okay.
So cool. I've always wanted a sauna. Built-in wet bar here.
Not my favorite
Always
style. I
stocked
would have preferred like a
with
built-in.
your
but
sports drinks of choice
especially at
here.
50
I
million.
like this gym because it's so minimal. Like they've got the Bowflex here, which this thing goes up to like 200 pounds. You've got the rowing machine, pull-up bar. You've got the water closet because I don't know about you, but most people who work out, there's been the times where you've got to go number 2 at the gym.
Oh,
So I like
yeah.
how they have that in this gym. And there's nothing like getting in a good workout outside. And with this layout of the house where it is indoor outdoor living, you could get your workout in the gym or bring it out here to the patio space. It's
true.
And get in a killer workout.
It's
But
enough,
heading back
look, and
across,
the gym equipment. It's enough
I
gym
love this
equipment for
room.
me.
Got the grand piano here displayed out. And then if we keep going down the guest wing, I don't even know what this is, but I'm gonna peek because I'm curious. HVAC, nothing important. But this is the bedroom wing. So here is another bedroom. Again, every room here has private outdoor space. And check out this bathroom. I'm keeping with the minimal feeling here. You got an open shower with another huge window in the shower. Like, look at this. Got a little seat here, rainfall shower head. The use of light in this house is the most distinguishing design feature
I
that
agree.
I think
I
really
agree.
jumps out.
Totally.
That makes this house stand apart from other places of this caliber that we've toured. And then at the end of the hallway,
All these rooms are like
at this.
decent size too.
this is the laundry room.
They're not like
Huge, with tons of light.
they're not overly
Like to have
large.
these transom windows even in the laundry room, that just
You know,
shows
but they're
that
not
nothing was
like
spared.
so
No
small,
corners were
it's
cut
like
here.
this doesn't
And
belong
then this
inside
is
of a
little
house
bit of a
of,
mudroom
you know,
here,
this price
storage
tag.
for miscellaneous things. And then if we pivot around, this is the garage.
Hi!
Hello!
How are you?
Good to meet you. Oh, is that your dog?
I'm sorry.
That's the agent.
That's the listing agent. So that was my first time meeting the agent listing this property. Her dog like ran off. And then if we actually go across the courtyard here, we'll look at this garage in a second. But if you look above the garage here, this is the tree house. At the start
So
of
why
the
is
video,
it
I
called the
mentioned that there are
treehouse?
actually 4 structures on this estate. And this one might be my favorite for apt reasons. It's called the treehouse because it is elevated above the garage. So you've got the staircase leading up
That's
here.
it?
How cool is this? It's kind of like an in-law suite above the garage. Again, with the glass and steel theme, windows everywhere, tons of sunlight in here. And you've even got a little
So they got
mini
like
kitchen here. This
yeah,
is
I was
actually
gonna
really
say a
cool.
little mini kitchen.
Check it out.
I already seen it.
Built-in
Just, you know,
dishwasher, oven here. So you could cook in here if you wanted. And then behind me, the bathroom runs the
Bathtub.
entire length of that bedroom space. So
nice.
starting at the back here, shower, toilet, soaking tub, all sectioned off by this frosted glass. Dual vanity here. And then again, you've got the pocket door to save space. But how sweet is this? And I love how large the balcony is and the fact that it wraps around the entire structure.
Got a business client coming in, or
that's the third structure, and that is
family
the garden
friend
house.
or family.
And the reason why they call this the garden house
right in there
is because you have a
privacy and
full-on garden right out in front. Look at this. Fresh basil here. I wish you could translate smell through a camera. You've got the sounds of the birds, your little mini tomatoes here, some spinach, regular plants.
It's cool.
And it really is pretty peaceful. I mean, just listen. Sounds of birds chirping, blue skies, the sun is out. God damn, I want to move to Texas now. Everyone's like, New York or Texas? Am I swinging towards Texas? Am I going red? A cool fact is your neighbor, this empty lot, belongs to Michael Dell, the billionaire. So that's the kind of neighborhood we're dealing with. And now from the garden,
so that,
let me
like
take
I said,
you up
that
into
next door where they're going,
house.
like construction will ensue.
So this is the third structure on the property. And it's just another large,
That's
I guess
why.
you would call it like,
Michael
I would hate to
Dell
say apartment, but
of
a
Dell
big suite.
Computers.
Like look at it, it's all open concept, huge bedroom front and center,
It's gonna build
facing
something
west,
massive
so
right
you
there.
have all the light coming in. Again, floor to ceiling glass on the walls here.
So while I did point out the fact that you're going to have to deal with construction as a potential negative, the flip side of that equation is, I know I probably could have said this at the end. I'll bring it back up. But the flip side of that is that once that property is built, it will sustain the value of your purchase. So yeah. So the flip side of that is that once the construction's over, because eventually it will have to end. Once the construction is over, you'll now have a very good comparable property next door that matches yours. So we'll see.
Nice little sitting nook. If you come around this way, we have a full kitchen in here, same finishes as the main house and the tree
really
house.
thick
So you've got
slab
the marble here,
of marble.
everything. This
Like,
is an
it's
induction
thick.
cooktop here, a little mini fridge. And if we loop around, got a nice little barn door here to close that off. And check out the bathroom. Another one of those marble slabs dividing the shower space
Like
from the soaking tub on the other side.
They did not
And this
cheap
is a
out on the marble
Victorian
whatsoever.
hour soaking tub, which means it's very expensive. Then you've got two vanities here, and then this then connects back to the bedroom space with all that sunlight coming in. One of my favorite
This I
features
love better
about
than
the
the tree
garden
house. I like
house is
that
the
better than the
serenity
tree
that you
house.
get with this property. And I keep wanting to call it a house, but it's a compound. This is so much land here. So I mentioned that there are 4 structures
give me
in this
the garden
compound,
house.
which is just under 6 acres of land. And to get to the 4th one, we've got a 9-seater Polaris. This is like the doomsday machine here. I will see you at the top of the hill. I was pretty shocked how hilly this area is because the drop off from the street to the river is, I'd say, about 300 feet maybe. This is wild.
It's a really nice neighborhood.
And here we are. So this is technically the guest house, and this is the house right off of the street. So let me just park it really quick and I'll give you a lay of the land. All right. So welcome to the guest house. And the unique thing about the guest house is that if you're pulling right off the street, this is all you see. So you're not even really aware that the lot runs all the way to the water, and the fact that the main house is way down there. And this is a huge house. As far as security, we are gated off from the main street, and even there's a security
Heck, you put
keypad,
security in-
which
in-
then
in
blocks
your,
off the rest of
in
the
the guest
driveway,
house.
leading all the way
just
down to
hang
the
out in the
main
guest
house
house.
right over behind me. So this place is like Fort Knox. But we're gonna give a quick little look at this because this is a huge house, and this is just the guest house. Like for most people, this is a really nice house. And this is one of 4 houses on the property. I love the continuation of that indoor-outdoor. Like before you even walk in, you got this outdoor fireplace here, huge chimney going up the whole double height of the house. Then again, big patio space, more of the indoor-outdoor living, which leads us into, check this out, the great room here
with double-heighted beam ceilings with this huge chandelier overhead. Just like the main house, you've got the view right from the front door, which now we're elevated, like I mentioned, so we have views of the entire property. Main house down below, right across the lake, like I mentioned, that is all preserved. There will never be homes across from there, so that view is forever, and it's a very rare thing. Huge fireplace running up the center of the room here with those transom windows all about. So off of the great room, we've got your kitchen, dining room, and we're just doing a quick little walk through this house because we still haven't shown the actual land and the river where all the fun stuff is.
Now,
But
why would
huge
they go
kitchen,
with the thinner
center
slab
island, marble
in
on
here?
the countertop.
Like, this is so much thinner than the main house. Like, why not just...
The
I'm
backsplash.
nitpicking.
Got a 6-burner Wolf cooktop here. All this custom millwork. Again, the views. Here you've got the home office.
Yeah, it's still beautiful. You got
Ensuite
the
bathroom.
elevation, so those
and then
views.
if we go to the far side of the house, back through the great room. I love the ceilings in here, how high they are. And with the beams in here, it gives it that lodgy feeling. Here's the owner's bedroom. And like I mentioned, everything's automated. So the blinds, as soon as you walk in the room, they go up, letting in all that sunlight, your views. Check out the ensuite bathroom. It is pretty epic.
It's
Huge
this
steam
is a really
shower, soaking
good
tub.
house. Like,
Off of the owner's bedroom here.
if you
We
could
have
just buy
the
this,
guest
like,
bedrooms.
that's
So
a
we have one
multi-million
off to my
dollar
right here.
house. Like, you know,
Pretty
for a few
decent
mil.
sized. Again, just so much sunlight. And then at the end of the hallway, we have another guest bedroom with those double height ceilings here. Again, the transom windows now doing their thing, letting in that sunlight. It's a lot of house. Like, we've covered a lot
That
of real estate,
like,
and we
there's
haven't
so
even
much,
shown
that ceiling
the
height
best
is
part yet. But that was just
amazing.
a quick look at
Like,
the
high
guest house.
ceilings,
We're now driving
like,
back down the property to show you one of the main factors, if not the main factor, that really hikes up the price of this listing, and that is the lake itself and all the activities on the lake. The best part about this home is the land itself. These are 100-year-old pecan trees in the backyard here. And as far as the outdoor activities, you have the main infinity pool here right by the house, which has a beach access, so it kind of just slopes on in. Then you've got a hot tub. There's actually a second pool. And the proper outdoor kitchen. I mentioned there's an outdoor kitchen up there. This is the actual outdoor kitchen. It's covered in a loggia style here with a huge grill, outdoor TV, all the built-ins here. Then off of the kitchen, this is the second pool, but this isn't just an ordinary pool. This is essentially a treadmill of pools. So there's a current that pushes against you, and you swim against that current, creating resistance. So you're basically swimming in place as if you were on a treadmill for running, if that makes sense. And they have one right here overlooking 200 plus feet of frontage on the lake.
That's pretty sweet. That's sweet. This place is fire, right? I'm being completely honest. I love this house. I love it so much. I love it so much. His cameraman and like, man, his camera crew is so on point. And Eric is amazing on camera. We did one of Eric's videos. We toured at like a $60 million penthouse in New York. It's a really good video. It's cool. This is the life. Okay, so what I've been waiting for, I don't know about you, but what I've been waiting for is to take the gloves off, baby. Look, again, I'm gonna say this because I want it to be like clear that my opinion, which is a professional opinion, is based on facts and things to consider. As far as the value of the property, I'm going to say this. I'm not from Texas. I don't sell real estate in Austin. So I am not going to give an evaluation on the number, especially since I don't have a way to compare it. I don't know the neighborhood of Lake Austin. I'm sure I could find it, and it would probably take me like 5 minutes, and I could find the neighborhood, and then I can actually look at the comps. But based on my knowledge, I can give a fair opinion. And what I could tell you just flat out, okay? Just flat out is this is more subjective. No, this is not. I guess it kind of could be subjective on what you could get at 50 million is where I'm coming from. Not necessarily that the property itself is not worth 50 million. So with that said, let me give you my honest opinion. Okay. Give you my honest opinion. And I'll just come flat out and say, at 50 million, would I suggest anybody paying 50 million for this? If you're worth 100 million, hundreds of millions, let me rephrase that, because the buyer for this is worth hundreds of millions to billions. This is not for someone worth just 100 million. Yes, a person worth just 100 million could essentially buy this, right? You buy this, you probably put half down, so 25 million, and then you put the other 25 million you borrow. And that is, possible, because someone worth 100 million will essentially become worth hundreds of millions. So yes, at 100 million, someone who's worth 100 million could just buy this. Here is the truth. 50 million for this underdeveloped area, because that's exactly what it is. If Michael Dell owns an empty lot, which will eventually be developed, maybe it doesn't get developed. Who knows? I don't know how long he's owned that lot, but it looks like it's graded, which means that it's ready to, be built, for something to be constructed. But not knowing how long he's owned the lot, the neighbor, Michael Dell, not knowing how long he's owned the lot, what his intentions are to build it, if he just intends to sell the lot, like, these are things that I'm not 100% sure on. And these are the things that I would have to question if I were representing someone that was interested in buying this, this place at 50 million. The key thing is the neighborhood, okay? If you are in a neighborhood where things normally sell for 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 50 million, it's a no-brainer when you build something like this. Now, this property, I'm, just going to throw it out there. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to sit here and lie, but, I'm not 100% sure. But this property, I do feel like the developer built it for themselves. I don't feel like this property was built to sell. It's just that, if he can get 50 million, he'll part with it. So I don't believe that 50 million really is the price tag for this property based on that. The other thing is the guest house is at the top of the hill. You can easily see that was constructed after the main house was constructed. That was constructed, well, let me not say after. They were constructed at two different periods of time. That I can say. That I can say. The details in the guest house differ vastly from the main house. If they were built at the same time, they will be pretty much identical when it comes to finishes and even the exterior. Now, that guest house itself, like I said, very nice guest house. Based on what I'm looking at in the neighborhood, that guest house is probably a $4 or $5 million house, right? And this is me guessing and assuming that the neighborhood, you're right there on the lake. It's Austin, a premier city, and definitely those places, there are worth a few $1,000,000 at minimum, right? At minimum, those don't look like $10 million properties. That much I can tell you, because a $10 million property has a distinct characteristics, right? Or the neighborhood has to hold. Now, I don't care where this is. There's no way a 3,000 square foot house is worth tens of millions of dollars, unless it's in the Platinum Triangle on a vast plot of land where you can build a 40, 50, 60 million dollar house. This doesn't give me that feel. Because those houses, it's not like there's a lot of new development, at least from what we were seeing, even when they're on the jet ski. It's not like a whole lot of that. So back to the suggestion of would we pay $50 million for this? No, especially when I pointed out that next door, right, of that empty lot will eventually get developed, and you're buying into construction. You don't know when the construction will begin, but just understand that that's usually what, especially, someone like Michael Dell, that's what you do when you buy a massive lot like that. It's by the lake. That's all you care about, is that it's by the lake. Then you have right on the other side, which is very moderate houses, right? Very moderate houses that are probably only worth a few $1,000,000. Like, they're normal houses. So it's underdeveloped, to say the least. It's underdeveloped. And based on, that neighborhood and the way it looks like, it's going to kind of stay that way. And there's a term called the big white elephant, right? In real estate. The big white elephant is a property that is so unique to the neighborhood that it sticks out like a big white elephant. And that is this house. That is this compound. It is beautiful. Make no mistake, it is beautiful. But if I'm representing a client at the $50 million price point, I say no. I say no at 50 million. I say no. Where would I suggest? I would honestly, I would have to actually look, but I'm going to tell you 50 million just flat out it's a no. It's a no. And it's only solely based on that. And it has nothing to do with the house itself. The compound itself had nothing to do with the compound itself, the way that it was constructed, because I'm sure all of those things were well thought out, and all of, the features are unique and beautiful. Obviously I said I don't love the fact that there's no built-in sauna or steam room as part of the gym for $50 million. I want that. I will want that for my client, right? I want that for my client. I don't, I want you to, especially being like in a secluded area like that, where you're getting away from everything, and you don't, you want to be in a position where not leaving is a pure option, where you can just hide out for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, right? A steam room built in, a sauna built in achieves that, right? Like there's certain features that you think about. There is no theater room. So, you know, this sounds like I'm nitpicking, but I'm really not nitpicking, because a person who can afford $50 million, they want every last fine detail, especially at $50 million. And you can get that pretty much a lot of places. You can get everything I'm mentioning, this house, all the fine finishes that you can think of. You can get all of that for well under 50 million. Okay, we're talking about 20 million, 40 million, anywhere between there, you can get everything I'm talking about. Now, what I will give props to Texas is I love that they're conservative. There's no state income tax. So I can't sit here and say, well, you know what? You buy the house and, you buy this $50 million home in California. Obviously, for those that don't know, as far as property taxes in Texas are higher than they are here in California. But the no state income tax it kills that. However, people who are worth hundreds of millions of billions of dollars, they know all of these tax, they have, all of these tax experts, right? The people that do their taxes, they're accountants. They know all these tricks to where it doesn't matter where they live, right? It doesn't matter where they live. But let's say no state income tax is a huge bonus to you. Well, I'm sure that there's a lot of places in Texas that give every last fine detail that this house lacks. I understand the lake is the lake. Okay? I understand the lake is the lake. But I'm sure that there's probably a way to get, everything I just mentioned, plus a lake, in a lot of places that don't have state income tax, where you are just a body of water. Let's just stick with the body of water. We've seen it in Miami. We've seen it. We know what it looks like. So, by the way, Florida, no state income tax. So there are other places if no state income tax is important. Hell, even Nevada. Nevada is stepping their game up right now. They have developed areas now where there are only properties that are worth 10, 20 million, right? And for this place to be, under 20,000 square feet at 50 million, that's another thing. There's so many places that you can find. So the point that I'm making is a person who is into that space where a $50 million property is on their radar. Where a $50 million property is on their radar, they're either looking for it as an investment or primary residence. And for me, this isn't a great investment at $50 million. I don't like it. At $50 million, I don't like it. I don't see you being able to sell it for $50 million if you buy it for $50 million. That's just me being honest. And then as a primary residence, those fine things that you want where you don't ever have to leave. We're talking about a really nice home gym with the saunas, built-in sauna, steam room. We're talking about a theater, a nice home theater. We're talking about we're talking about so many bells and whistles, right? That you can't hear the birds chirping. Okay, we're talking about that much, and this house lacks. And again, 10,500 square feet for 50 million it doesn't compute unless the neighborhood dictates, right? And I don't feel like this neighborhood dictates. I could be wrong, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I could be wrong, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I do feel I'm more likely right. I'll probably do some research after the fact, and then the next video we'll bring it back up to, you know, kind of put everything full circle. But right now at 50 million, the whole United States, hell, there's places at 50 million in the whole world where you're going to get way more for your money. In Texas, it's supposed to be, you're supposed to get way more for your money than what you would get here in California or New York, you know, or San Francisco, you know, or even Miami, right? Like, you're supposed to get way more for your money. And this doesn't do it. This doesn't do it. So I wouldn't, if you come to me as a client, I wouldn't put this house on your list. I'm just telling you, just flat out. I wouldn't put this house on your list as something to go see. I'll make you aware of it because that will be the job, to make you aware of it. But if I'm curating a list for you, right, I'm going to give you my curated list, which is the one that will make sense. But I'll show you everything that's available, because there is you know, only a certain amount of properties available in the entire world that go above, you know, 50 million or above. And if that's like the price point, or, you know, whatever, like that's at this level of representing someone, you're going to have to curate a list. But there are some properties that, while you have the time, you make them aware of. So yeah. So anyway, this is just some bonus information. This is the developer site, and this is the type of homes that, you know, this person develops. And this is kind of where I got like that few $1 million, you know, price point thing is this, right? So it's like, okay, there are some neighborhoods, you know, you get a nice, decent house, you know, 3-4 million, you know, 3.4 million, you know, something like that. And it doesn't show the price after it's sold. But this developer develops nice homes, right? And it does seem that it's going to be in, you know, within that area. And let's look at this, see if we could see it. That's fine. You know, but yeah, I was just looking, you know, like at this, and it's like, okay, well, this developer does put in, you know, the work, and this house is probably more adjacent to the guest house that was built. But yeah, was gonna, you know, look at some of these other links, but there really was no point. Like, after, you know, again, taking the time to actually look, right? To actually look at the property. Like, I pull this stuff up just so I can have like some talking points at the end, but it just became so unnecessary. So, beautiful place. I do think, you know, someone will buy it. The last thing that I will say is the value of something, and this is very common, the value of something is worth what somebody is willing to pay, even if it is a big white elephant. The value of something is worth whatever someone is willing to pay. There could be someone that sees this worth 50 million, or just wants the house. If they want the house and they want it, then they'll negotiate and they'll get a price where it works. As far as an honest opinion, that is all that my job is to offer an honest opinion. Do I think it's worth 50 million? No. Just got to be honest. I don't think it's worth 50 million. That's all I can tell you. I don't think it's worth 50 million. But you let me know what you guys think. I know I seen a comment, and then actually let's go back and look at the comment. The comments. Right? As someone who lives in Austin, the real estate market here, 50 million is an insane tag for this place. Should be half. I've seen lakefront properties here with much more space and custom work for a fraction of the cost. As a Texan and former Austin dweller, there are maybe a couple months out of the year where that place can be used as it was intended. It's way too hot in Texas for all that glass and all those open walls and spaces. I don't think that's the case because a house built like that, you're going to engineer those things in consideration. So not really sure about that. Such an amazing home for sure. The problem I see buying this home is it's hard to sell it. That's what I'm trying. That's the main thing I'm saying. I did some research and supposedly this property costed $13 million to build. That's insane. The owner is a real estate developer and the wife is a musician. He does make beautiful properties, but $13 million to build a house. And who knows how much buying the property costs, like the land, right? If this costs $13 million and I'm saying that the neighborhood, is maybe houses normally sell for, 3 to 5 million. So you take into account to some of that land, maybe the land itself is worth 10 to 15 million, right? Maybe the land itself is worth 10 to 15 million. Build it for 13. So let's call it 30 million. It sells it for 40 million. That's a win, right? If we're really looking at it, but he did get to live in it and enjoy it. Again, I'm not 100% sure. 13 million to build a house is not crazy. That's not crazy, right? For what we've seen, that's not crazy. Still missing a lot of stuff. At 13 million, probably should have, anyway. Love how honest Eric is. He didn't really say anything. He just talks about the house, talks about the features, and there's really nothing to be dishonest about. But again, sure. So yeah. We're gonna end the video. I'm gonna watch some football. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.